So, free fights have already started bursting out against these Diablos Guild members, and the question is that will any of the members of Fairy Tail even have a chance to stand up against them, because it seems like two of the fights right now, like out of all of them, have had some difficulties. Especially I think Natsu literally probably picked the wrong opponent to go against out of all of them, and Urza, well, we're gonna have to discuss the whole things with Urza, and especially with Kyria's abilities. Seemingly the Blade Dragon has a lot more up its sleeve than what we previously thought for like chapter 10 at least. So when we got to see this chapter, they already came out like blowing out all their techniques straight away, and it was like, you gotta see the Water Dragon god just like, he's like, you taint my temple, you filthy creatures, like that, leave right now. And unfortunately it's like, he like Scullion, I believe his name is, like the one that controls like the Ash Dragon, who was like, you no longer like are the Water Dragon god. So the fact that we're able to like take on like abilities like that, you are weak in comparison from what we have seen with you. And they were already like getting ready to like tie him up and getting ready to like finish that off, and seems like it's like, oh, Wendy, you need to take care of them, like get his servant and get like him out of there, we're gonna deal with the rest of it and all that. It was like, oh no, let's try and give this a try. As like Gray, Urza, and Natsu are like, let's see what we can do right there. Natsu goes straight in to attack him, he immediately just turns into Ash straight away, where it's like, seems like physical attacks isn't going to be working on him, like even Urza as well with a magical sword. So in anything, like Gray's like, alright then, this seems to be the case then, like he's my prey if anything, which we do see like with at least with Scullion, when exactly like when Gray starts doing stuff, he has to dodge it. So it's like, okay, so physical magic just in all manners that like is not going to work against this guy. He's pretty much like Crocodile from like One Piece, where it's like you have to like be a little bit more up, like use your like kind of your noggin a little bit to kind of attack that guy. But even still, like when like you see Kyria like was like getting really into this, like it's maybe a little bit too often about this stuff, when it was like she's fighting like Urza and it's just like the sounds of blades hitting each other and all that, and that's making me quiver right now. And then Natsu decides to, alright then, I'm against like a Mad Mole, or whether his name is like the Armor Dragon. He's like, alright then, I'm going against you. And he's like, oh, best regards then. And he goes to attack him, does a sword horn. That doesn't, and I remember, because this thing, like, especially with this chapter, became slightly controversial with some of the stuff that he was doing. The guy takes like a Fire Dragon King's Perishing Fist, one of Natsu's strongest things that he has up his arsenal, and is able to not only deflect it, but even the power is flowing back into like Natsu's fist. And he's like, again, we've seen like, or at least it's been heavily implied that this character, his whole actual ordeal with his power is that he can just physical attacks. No, nothing can harm him, right? Like, and that's the thing. You're against two people that like, one that has an Ash power that is like just able to resist this, and this guy who is seemingly nigh on just like invulnerable to certain attacks. Like, we don't know if something like a Fire Dragon Roll will affect him, but his power is like kind of weird, especially with the fact that what we know about this generation of Dragon Slayers, like when he is able to actually like manifest some metal material into the sea itself, and is able to just walk that way. And Natsu already being at a disadvantage with like his whole little like gimmick, like all the Dragon Slayer though, like first generation, kind of like wanting to like throw up ever so slightly, and he's like, wait, you guys aren't affected by this and all that? And it's like, but you're a Dragon Slayer too. And he's just like, I guess this older generation has it rough, as he like smashes him into the shit. Now, like I was gonna say, like this is what, like especially when I think of like at least with Mad Maul, is that the way to defeat him is either going to be some weird little gimmick that he has, like how like he's clearly going is like the whole kind of monk peaceful thing, where it's like, you cannot attack me, so you have to defeat me by some other means. So technically that could be like Mad Maul could be defeated by like really stupid means, like, oh, I'm just gonna tie him up in a rope or something and just like throw him overboard. Like that's the way where it's like, this is clearly not an opponent that you're supposed to physically fight. At least how it's being implied. And the fact of the matter is that Kyria like is the weirdest out of all of them, because of this ability that she has, or she's able to do, where it's like she's immediately like going over and all that, like, I want to see for myself what kind of person you are, Urza, and a shockwave goes off, and immediately, like, as like Urza's like, what the hell's going on, her entire personality just changes, where it's like, this isn't only a swimsuit, and it's like, Urza, we've been into it. It's like, don't, like, she starts getting embarrassed, and it's like, oh, what's wrong with Urza? And then she's like, no, please don't kill me and all that, like, help me and all that, like, and it's like, don't you mean please help me, Kiria-sama? And immediately was like, what the hell happened there? And it's like, what with Urza? And it's like, I slayed your strength. So seemingly with the blade, like, because again, well, from what we know, because I've seen the translations describe Scullion as a bone dragon, and like he controls ash magic. I've also seen like especially with More Dragon, that he is just flower and iron dragon, but the blade dragon is somehow able in some manner or form to change the personalities of someone, and I'm like, what the hell? I was like, clearly like this girl's got a major like kind of like a whole like superiority complex sort of thing, where it's like she has to be the dominant one on there. So I guess, hey, it's the you guys and all that wanted like the badass bitch kind of like to appear and just wants to take names, and they're like, this is her own way, I guess, of dealing with Urza characters. So whether or not we're going to have a continuation of this battle another time, or if that we're just going to keep rolling with it, it depends really on them. But so far, at least, like, it is a weird way for the chapter to end, like, especially, like, because you're thinking, like, wait, so she's a blade dragon, but she's able to do at least this to Urza, because like the shockwave clearly did something to her senses, like whether she's more sensitive or more just aware of her surroundings, where for some reason for someone like Urza who just does not really care, like out of all of them, like she's like the one that like just doesn't care about like I wouldn't say cares about womanhood or like anything like that, but she just, again, like, she more cares about being a warrior than anything. Like, it doesn't matter if you're a man, woman, like, whatever you identify yourself as. That's more kind of Urza's whole thing. And yet now she's finally, like, being embarrassed by, like, flaunting her stuff all over the area. And you can tell as well, like, Kiria is, like, she don't care. Like, she's just there, like, in like a whole outfit, like, I don't give a shit about this. It's a weird ending to the chapter, and I don't know how I personally feel about it. I think the people... Again, that was the bit of the chapter I felt weirded out by, but the whole stuff with, I know people were complaining about the Mad Mole, where it's like, no, it's been already said, or at least from what we've seen of him so far, is that he is just physical. I am going to immune attacks, and that is my spiel. So again, he's gonna have to be the one where it's like, you're gonna have to be actually quite crafty, or at least you're gonna have to come up with some stupid little gimmick or something to beat him up. Because the fact that he can create armor and just make that run around, and seemingly, like, his whole thing is, like, he hasn't attacked you yet. And it's like, why hasn't, like, he really attacked you apart from using his own strength? He hasn't used his power or anything. It's like, because that's probably what all of the Armor Dragon can do. Like, it is meant there to protect, not to attack. Same thing with, like, Kiria, where Kiria is clearly more the offense-based character, like, out of the Diablos Guild. And Scullion is more just like, he has the tricks to him. Like he's able to like transform his whole body. He's able to teleport the Diablos people. Like the fact that he like was able to get him out, come up with a game plan. It was like, all right, let's go back in there. We're able to do something against them. So whether or not we're going to continue with these people or not, we'll have to wait and see and all that. But definitely, yeah, a weird chapter to say the least. I don't know if I like it or not. Like again, like I think like I don't like Kiria is like a weird character in general for me so far. Like and whereas like I like her introduction a lot. But her power and now seemingly pulling Urza, like saying like, now you're now my bitch now. You are just flat out, you will do exactly what I'm told, and yeah, context is needed with her powers exactly to say, what the hell did you do to Urza? And I guess like, can she seemingly cut like some sort of morals that you have as a character? Like, it's clearly her ability, but like, we're gonna have to wait and see. But that is all from me though. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you guys though next time.